What's up, everybody? I am back again for my second video for today called Blog Tidbits, honey. And I just wanted to come on here for a hot minute before I lay it down, because you know, when you see me with my Star Wars pajama shirt on, you know what's coming next, right? So anyway, I wanted to come on here and hit on all of the mess that has consumed the blogs for the week. Well, I ain't gonna say all of it, but some of it, because there's no way I can talk about everything. I don't do much when it comes to politics unless it's something that I really have researched and delved into. I mean, I see a lot of things. I see what's going on with Trump. I see where Sean Spicer has resigned and how all of this mess is going on. But I don't get off into politics because it angers me, and it is a topic of contention. A lot of times you got so many different perspectives on politics, so I don't get off into that, so I kind of leave it alone. But tonight I wanted to talk about some of these other things, especially some of this celebrity news. If y'all notice through this video, you will not hear me talk about China and Rob, and that's because I don't care anything about them. I'm so sick of hearing about them. It's ridiculous. And I was just really glad that, I ain't gonna say glad, because the stuff that we have heard about this week, a lot of it has been kind of frustrating and disappointing. But I'm really glad not to be hearing about Rob and China. Oh, I'm so glad, because I was really sick of them. Some of the things I'm gonna be talking about, some of the people I'm gonna be talking about. I'm gonna be talking about RKelly a little bit, OJ a little bit, Usher, Kevin Hart, Mike Vick, you know, some little stuff like that, things that we know for a fact have been going on. And the first thing I'm gonna get off into is going to be Mike Vick. So let me get on him first. Now, Mike Vick, we know his history. I like Mike Vick. He's an awesome athlete. He's retired now. He retired actually last month from the NFL at the age of 37 years old. Somewhere around his birthday, he retired. No, I'm sorry, he retired in February, but his birthday is in June, and he turned 37 years old. He's made his money. He can sit back now and get fat and talk about other athletes now. Yeah, but like I was saying, we all know his history. We know how he went to prison for 18 months back in, 2006, 7, somewhere before 2009. He went to prison for almost 2 years for dog fighting, so he has a felony charge on his record. But that, but he's still doing well in spite of, and I don't think he should have went to prison then, but that's my personal opinion, y'all, so please, let's not argue about it. But anyway, the next thing, what I want to say about him, we know, first of all, that last Monday, there was an article released on several media outlets, and the one that I chose to pull up was sportingnews.com. And we know that Colin Kaepernick was on one of those Fox Sports shows with little Jason Butterball Whitlock. Yes, I call him Butterball, okay? I wouldn't call him Butterball if he was a more sensible person, but Jason Whitlock, and I just found out about him a few months ago, but he's such an idiot to me. I don't like to listen to him talk. But anyway, Michael Vick was on the show with him, and basically Jason Whitlock asked him about Michael Vick. They had been talking about several things, Ezekiel Elliott and whatnot, but they got to talking about Colin Kaepernick. And in all of the things that Mike Vick said, he didn't talk bad about him, but he made a comment. He said he wants to see Colin cut his hair off. He said, I want him to just cut his hair, go clean cut, do away with his afro. And the first thing I said is, for what? See, we all know Colin Kaepernick is a free agent quarterback now because of what has happened with him in the NFL last year when he decided to bow the knee instead of standing and saluting the flag for the national anthem, which you can't do anything but commend him. He was just basically taking a silent, respectful stand against police brutality. We all know that that's a problem. You can say what you want. You can make excuses for the police and holler Blue Lives Matter all you want to, but you cannot deny the truth that exists, okay? And he took a stand for it. He wasn't the only one. There were a couple of other people that stood with him, but I commend Colin Kaepernick. I love his fro. I love it. It just, to me, it's just so strong. I like big hair anyway. So I like his fro, and he's not the only one that has a fro. He's not the only one that had braids. There are black and white NFL players with long hair, greasy hair hanging down their back, but all of a sudden that's a problem. Mike Vick had the audacity to bring that up. Now I understand the point Mike Vick was trying to make. But I don't think he should have said. It was very disappointing what he said. Colin Kaepernick didn't ask him anything. That is one reason why I am glad that Mike Vick did come back and qualify and say, if he asked me, I would tell him that. Because Colin didn't ask him. Colin Kaepernick has stated many times that he knew the risk that he was taking when he did what he did last year. He had a pretty good season last year. I don't care what Mike Vick says. But let me go ahead and read this brief little article. Because my thoughts are all over the place about this. Michael Vick started a firestorm of controversy on Monday when he said that free agent quarterback Colin Kaepernick should get a haircut and do away with his afro. I don't think he should represent himself in that way, Vick said about Kaepernick's hair. Just the hairstyle. Just go clean cut. You know, why not? You're already dealing with a lie. Now, and what he's trying to say is in light of the fact that he really is being blackballed. Now, Mike Vick said he wasn't being blackballed. He had the audacity to say the reason why Colin Kaepernick hadn't been picked up is because of his lack of productivity in the past season or two, which is another lie, which is another excuse. We know Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed. We know what's going on. We know what the problem is. They say he's a distraction. We know that. We know about his pigs in the blanket statements. We know about how he's just an advocate for people of color. He's a people of color. And so he's just taking a stand for what is convicting him. And I can't do nothing but respect that. You know what I'm saying? He's not a violent person. And I don't believe he promotes violence. He has shown no proof of that. Just because he said pigs in the blanket, because he wore the pigs in the blanket socks, that doesn't mean anything. He's just letting us know that the police right now are a problem. And they are an enemy to the community in a lot of ways. Not all policemen are bad. We know that there are some good ones. But even me personally, I have encountered some bad police officers. Some police officers that should never have been recruited and picked up. I'm telling you, they need to be working in Dollar General somewhere. But anyway, let me continue. Vick's comments started a discussion on social media with many high-profile reporters and athletes rejecting the idea that a haircut should matter. Shannon Sharp was one of the first people I heard that talked about it. I mean, it was a lot of people that were getting on to Michael Vick about what he was saying. Jumped on and they were like, what are you talking about, dude? Why would you say something like that? And there was a lot of people that said they agree with him. There are some people that say they agree with him, but more people disagree with Mike Vick. It seemed like everybody had an opinion on the issue. And Tuesday morning, last Tuesday, Kaepernick chimed in with a response. He got on Twitter and he posted something about Stockholm Syndrome. Now, he did not call Mike Vick's name, but people are assuming, are under the impression that he was aiming this tweet at Mike Vick because of the timing, okay? And this is what it said. He put it up at 9:25 in the morning on July 18th. He said, the Stockholm Syndrome appears when an abused victim develops a kind of respect and empathy towards their abuser. It was named after a bank robbery in Stockholm when a group, I think is in Sweden, right? When a group of bank employees were held hostage and developed a strong sense of empathy towards their captors. When this traumatic event was over, they even defended their captors by not wanting to say anything that might endanger their captors' freedom. This usually happens because the victim sees the smallest act of decent behavior as an extracted event, which makes them see their captors as essentially good. This way, they leave aside all of the negative behavioral distinctions of their captors and focus on the positive bonding or victim brainwashing. And that's called Stockholm Syndrome. Like, now, we can't say for sure that he was aiming that at Mike Vick, but like I said, a lot of people say that they feel like he did because of the timing of it. And there were a lot of Twitter users that came on and commended him for it, and they actually agreed with him. And so far, he hasn't said anything to counteract that comment, either or to dispute the comment. In this article, it says, while it didn't mention Vick by name in the tweet, it was clearly a shot at the retired quarterback. Many others on social media had the same takeaway and praised the former 49ers quarterback for his response. You know, and I like Colin Kaepernick. I've heard some interviews that he's done, and he's very well spoken. I like to hear him speak. They can ask him any question, and he always has a concise and clear answer. And I like that. He's an excellent communicator. Okay? Vick also responded to the criticism that he's been facing on social media. He responded on Twitter that same Tuesday. What he basically did was backpedal, okay, from his initial stance, and he tried to clarify what he was saying or what he was trying to say on Monday. And what he said is Colin Kaepernick's hair has nothing to do with him not being on an NFL roster right now. Well, if that's the case, Mike Vick, you should never have brought it up. Even if cutting his hair could help him get back in the NFL, I think that's something you should have said to him in a private conversation. I don't think you should have ever got on television and said what you said, because it makes it look like you're helping the enemies out with him. You're giving them another reason. You're playing into that stereotype that his hair and that people, especially black people, have to assimilate or conform to be accepted. This is football. It shouldn't matter how your hair looks. Your hair is up under your helmet most of the time anyway when you're playing. So it shouldn't matter. All of those NFL players have unique appearances. Okay? Let's point out all the ones that have long, wild hair. Okay? Mike Vick, some people, I like you, Mike Vick, but sometimes you need to hush, especially when talking about other people. But anyway, he said, let's be clear. I wish only the best for Colin. I stand by what I've said about him being signed at some point this season to help an NFL club. I think he's a great kid who has a bright future, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on the field again. Trust and believe what I said was not in malice. Mike Vick. Okay, and let me say this for the record. I'm not mad with Mike Vick. I'm not mad, just a little disappointed in his commentary. But apparently, people have thrown so many shots or taken so many shots at Vick till he actually now regrets making the hair comment. And I'm going to read what TMZ posted, put up yesterday. And this is what they said on TMZ. The article is, Mike Vick regrets Kaepernick hair comments. Truly sorry for what I said. Mike Vick says he never should have suggested Colin Kaepernick cut his afro to look more presentable to NFL owners. I agree, Mike, you never should open your mouth. And he admits that he should have used a better choice of words when addressing the free agent quarterback. Vick's been under fire since he made controversial comments about Cap on FS1 Speak for Yourself. That's Fox Sports 1 Speak for Yourself earlier this week. And the ex-NFL star says his original message was taken out of context. Obviously, we all know that his afro has nothing to do with him being signed. And I wasn't trying to relay that message. It was just more so about helping him at the end of the day. Okay, I can respect that, but you should have kept that to yourself, and maybe you should have texted him or called him or something and had that conversation with him. It was more so about helping him at the end of the day. This is what Vick told the Dan Patrick Show on Thursday. Vick says that he's always been a Kaepernick supporter and is truly sorry for what I said. And he's sorry now because he's been attacked for it. If nobody had said anything to him, of course he wouldn't be sorry. We all know that. You know, I do understand. I do know that because of the pro-black stance, or the stance that Colin Kaepernick has taken against police brutality, him wearing that afro, because it looked like it even got bigger and bigger since then. Like he done picked that bad boy out with his afro pick. He done picked it out big. He look like a microphone now. And it looked like it gets bigger and bigger. And I love it, okay? But to a lot of people, especially white people, when they hear a black person, I know he's biracial, but technically he's a black man. That's what everybody said. They've always said that historically, if you got a drop of black blood, they call you black. So I don't want to hear nobody, see nobody in my comments talking about, well, he's part white too. Yeah, we know that biologically and genetically. But the law always said back in the day, if you had a drop of black blood, you was black. So get up off that, okay? I agree with you. He is biracial, but technically speaking, he's a black man for all intents and purposes, okay, of this conversation. Well, he said that when he took his stand of pro-black and against police brutality, a lot of people, especially white people, took that as if he was saying go against the whole police department and that all white people are evil, but that's not what he's saying. They're so busy attacking him for the stand he took, or for the fact that he did not salute this flag, that they're failing to look at the issues that he's protesting. It's like they can't see the forest for the trees. So when he wears that afro, that makes him look more threatening to people that think like that. It makes him appear to be some type of rebel or something. And it is somewhat of a rebellion, a personal rebellion, but that's okay because it's his hair. All right? It's his hair to do whatever he wants to do with it. But they're taking it that way. What really matters in football is how well you play. As long as you respect other people, and he does respect other people. He knows how to treat people. He knows how to talk to people, and he was pretty good at the game. Okay? Of course, there's always room for improvement, but you know, I don't know. I can watch football all day, but I don't know everything about it. As far as I'm concerned, he's good. All right? So, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, Mike Vick was wrong. He done admitted he was wrong. I'm glad he admitted that he was wrong, because he shouldn't have never said anything about that. Normally, I would not get this petty with a situation like this, but I get so sick and tired of people always going against the person that's trying to stand up for something that is right, simply because it makes them uncomfortable. I'm sick of that. I really am. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Colin Kaepernick and Mike Vick. Mike Vick, you still my dude. You always will be. You are a great football player. You've had your time to shine. So just relax now and keep your mouth off other folks if you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? Anyway, moving right along. The next thing I want to talk about. Ooh, it's so much. Let me get on. Hold on, y'all, because I have to pull up my my information on Twitter as well, because I don't want to say the wrong thing about what I see. But I think the next person I'm going to mention is probably going to be OJ. We know that OJ had his parole board hearing. Was it Friday? Thursday or Friday? And he was granted parole. And he should have been, as far as I'm concerned, because he done spent 9 years for a very stupid crime. And we all know what that was about, too. So y'all bear with me just a second. Let me find it. TMZ posted up a live streaming of OJ's parole board hearing. I don't even understand why. Well, yes, I do. The cameras were in the courtroom when OJ Simpson had his parole board hearing. Everything is so about TV now. They had to dramatize everything. It's nothing sacred. It's nothing private anymore. It's nothing serious anymore. Doesn't seem like it. But anyway, he went to his parole board hearing. I guess it was Thursday or so. Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. But he was granted his parole. And it was a very interesting parole board hearing. One lady told him he was 91 years old and pretended like she was just kidding. But I know that, she pretended like she didn't know how old he was. And she know good and tea well that man wasn't no 91 years old. She was trying to be funny. One of those parole board people. It was kind of comical. It was interesting. So if y'all get a chance, go out to TMZ's website. I know the live stream is there. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube somewhere, but I know TMZ posted it. But he got out, and the thing that I wanted to talk about for that, we know that when OJ went to court back in 2008 for robbery, for going down to Las Vegas, Nevada, him and two armed men to rob, that he says he didn't know that they were armed, but we know better. He went down there and he robbed, or attempted to rob, two memorabilia dealers in Las Vegas for his own stuff back, the stuff that had been, I guess, sold off or whatever to them. And it turns out, which I'm finding out more and more about it, that the stuff that they had really did not legally belong to them. It shouldn't have been sold. It was rightfully his, but he was taking matters into his own hand, which was dumb. But I found out that he also wound up getting that stuff back anyway. He wound up getting all the memorabilia back. Memorabilia back anyway. And he said he was sorry for it. He said it wasn't worth those 9 years. It wasn't worth it being away from his family. His daughter spoke up for him. Even the man that he robbed or tried to rob spoke up and said, he's a good man, and he spoke up for him. And so it was a unanimous decision to go ahead on and let OJ out. And like I said, I'm glad he's going to leave on October 1st. That's his official parole date. So anyway, the thing that I wanted to mention, okay, this man is out. We know they gave him 33 years back in 2008, of which he had to serve 9 of those years at a minimum. We know that the only reason that the judge gave him 33 years to begin with was he was trying to make OJ pay for what had happened to Nicole Brown Simpson and the other guy, what is his name? Ron Goldsman. They were still trying to make him pay. And the judge admitted it. She admitted it some years ago in some interview that she was trying to make up for what had happened with them. And I think that's wrong. She should have been disbarred and debenched for that, because you don't do stuff like that. That man had already been to trial for what happened to Nicole and Ron. He'd already been to trial and had been acquitted. And I believe if they could have proven that he had done it, he would have been found guilty. But they couldn't prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Considering the fact that they didn't have any other suspects either. You know, if OJ had really, I don't believe he really killed them. I believe he knows who killed them. Okay, I think he knows more than he was telling. But I don't believe OJ with his own hands killed Nicole and Ron. I think OJ was stupid, did something stupid. He was dealing with people that he shouldn't have been dealing with, because there is a man that has come out named Glenn Rogers, a serial killer, who was due to be executed in 2013. Not sure if they did it or not, but he admitted to doing it. His own family said that he did it. This is the story that I saw on a documentary on YouTube entitled My Brother the Serial Killer. So y'all, when y'all get a chance, look up My Brother the Serial Killer on YouTube, and there are several videos out there. His family, Glenn Rogers' family, said yes, Glenn did kill Nicole and Ron. I don't know why they didn't make this. I guess it wasn't necessary for them to bring it up, because OJ did get acquitted. But the man, Glenn Rogers, admitted it, wrote a letter confessing that he did it, even drew pictures of the knife, the weapon that he used to kill Ron and Nicole. So he didn't really have any reason to lie about it. He said that the reason he was there was because OJ wanted him to go and steal some really expensive diamond earrings that some other man had given Nicole. That's a sidebar, y'all, but y'all go look it up on your own time and watch the video. This man, Glenn Rogers, was a serial killer. He's in prison, or was in prison, for killing 70 other women already. So he didn't go to prison for killing Nicole, because they did not know he had done it. But he was there. They told, if you go back to the OJ trial, to the original footage, you will hear them bring up in the court that they believe somebody else was there at that house. OJ was in the vicinity, we know, because his Bronco was parked near the house. But there was somebody else there. And after years, and when this documentary came out, 2 and 2 together, it was him that was there. He admitted to it. So that's all you can go by, somebody's word. And furthermore, Mark Furman, the racist, if he knew that OJ had done this, being an investigator like he had been with the police department for so long, do you think he would have had to plant evidence on OJ if OJ had killed Nicole? No, he just didn't like it. He was a racist, and he wanted him to go to jail, go to prison for killing that woman. So anyway, moving right along past that. But what I was going to say, the main point I was going to get to about OJ is, now that he's been granted parole, which he should have been, the fact that there are so many people that are mad. Y'all, I am not an OJ fan. I never have really been. So don't think that I'm taking up for OJ, because I'm not. Because he used to beat Nicole Simpson. Nicole Simpson, and we know that. They had issues in their marriage, of course. I also know that her family encouraged her to stay with OJ because of the money, of course. So that's probably why they so adamant about trying to keep him in prison too, because they got some guilt on their own, if you ask me. I don't care who get mad. The truth is the truth. So they're part of the reason why Nicole stayed with OJ for as long as she did. But he was wrong. That's totally not neither here nor there. But we cannot keep calling that man a killer if we can't prove that he did it. Okay, he was acquitted, just like so many other people that get off for crimes that we know they done it and they get off for it. I'm not taking up for him, but the truth is the truth. He's out now. He should be out. The family of Nicole Brown and the family of Ron Goldsman is actually mad that they let him out. Listen, OJ is 70 years old. How long did they think he was supposed to stay in prison? Till he died? What happened with them in that trial with Nicole was 22 years ago. Okay? It's time to let go. So they want this man to continue to pay for something that they think he did 23 years ago. All right? And I just don't believe that that's right. That's wrong. And it makes me look at them strange. I understand how they would feel if... I understand how people get upset and they feel a certain way about certain things. But I don't think that they're actually looking at the situation for what it is. I think they're speaking through their emotions instead of based on the truth and the facts. And it perplexes me, and it makes me mad that this man is 70 years old. He done been to court. He done been twice. The court has done their job. And they are still trying to make this man pay. They're still trying to crucify him for something. They're still trying to get money, of course. But, of course, he's got retirement now. He's going to get $25,000 a month until he dies. And I hope he live to be 100. But they can't touch that. They cannot touch that. To me, right is right. Justice has been served as far as common sense people are concerned. And to me, they just need to just keep on living their life and move on. Ron Goldsman's father looks well, by the way. I just thought I had to say that. And his sister looks just like him. Okay. But anyway, moving right along, that's my thoughts on OJ. I think the family and all the people that are mad with him, calling him killer, murderer, nigger, and all kind of other racist things, get over yourself. Y'all need to stop that. You need to stop that, because that is ridiculous for y'all to be doing that. Okay? Ridiculous. Sometimes, you know, people are so unforgiving. I'm so glad that God is God and we not, because we would be putting folks in hell left and right. If some of us was God, we would be punishing people left and right. It would be terrible. Some people think they God and they do punish and pass judgment on people. But anyway, y'all need to lead us along. Let OJ go on down there to Shady Grove Retirement Community and get him a rocking chair and just rock and play some golf every now and then, okay? So anyway, moving right along, because this video getting kind of long. The next thing I was going to talk about, I guess, is going to be RKelly. RKelly is another one, all right, that we all have some entertainment, not we all, but most of us have some entertainment history with him. My experience with RKelly's music, back when I was like 12 and 13 years old, like in the late 80s, in 1990. And he was with Public Announcement. I used to like his music because I used to love the song Vibe and Dedicated and Sadie and all these songs he used to make. He's very talented. He's a writer, composer, he's a producer, and Lord knows the man can sing. He's good at what he does. But of course, RKelly has a private life and a dark side, like most people, like a lot of people do have, okay? Even when I was 12 years old, I remember looking at RKelly thinking, oh, he looked like a dirty old man. I remember literally being somewhat afraid of him. Well, it came out some years after that, him and Aaliyah got together. And Aaliyah, they supposedly got married for business reasons. And I believed that. As a 13, 14-year-old child, I believed it at first. But then I was like, I don't know about that. The older I got, I realized that there was something more to that, which we found out later on that that's true. He's a pervert. He's a freaky pervert, and it reflects in his music too. Now, me personally, I stopped really listening to RKelly's music when I was probably after the album, what is it, 12 Play maybe? Whenever he made I Wish. No, I'm going up. Look, I Wish. After that, that was pretty much the last time I haven't really listened to him like that, because he's made so many albums. But I think after maybe, I'm going to say maybe 2000. Y'all, I'm looking online right now at all these albums, because he's put out so much music. Anyway, I stopped listening. I stopped really actively listening to him, like consistently, back in the early 2000s. I mean, he's always been freaky, but he began to get out of hand. I didn't even listen to all of Trapped in the Closet. He did about 12, 13 segments of that. I couldn't look at all that. I couldn't do it. I got my personal thoughts on RKelly, but I'm not going to go into all of that. Like I said, I already knew he was freaky. Everybody who knew anything about RKelly knows he's perverted. He can be mean. He's a control freak. His family and friends have said that. Well, as we know here recently, it has come out that he's got a harem. He's got a harem of women. Okay? But there on Monday, let me go back before Monday. His ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, had done a YouTube video, and she even mentioned back last year in August that somebody was questioning her about him, and she was going off on somebody named Moni Love, some radio personality. And she said, I already know about his harem, and I ain't finna sit up here and talk about R. Kelly's harem. So he's always had a harem of women that he keeps on site or on deck for his own personal pleasure. Okay, this has always been R. Kelly. Ain't nothing new. We know about his porn tapes. We know about him messing with the little girl, peeing on the little girl back in the day. We all know about that. So that's no surprise. But on Monday, a couple, a mother and father, and a sister, and another lady did a press conference. Or actually, they went to BuzzFeed, and they gave them, I guess, an interview. And R. Kelly is on tour this summer. They are telling people that he is running an abusive cult. And 3 former members of his inner circle told BuzzFeed News similar stories. The mother and father, their daughter is one of his women, okay? And she's about 21 going on 22 now. And she's living with R. Kelly. And she was 19 when she went. As a matter of fact, they're the ones that took her to R. Kelly. They introduced her to him. And they're saying now that he's holding her hostage in a cult. He's abusing her, and they're looking for her. They done put the police out to look for her, but the police told them they couldn't do anything because she's old enough, she's grown, and there was nothing they could do. He wasn't doing anything illegal. We know it's immoral what he's doing, but it's nothing illegal about it. So they've got everybody in a tizzy. They got the media all riled up thinking that R. Kelly is holding these women hostage and whatnot. And it may be some truth to it. But that ain't the 100% truth. Yes, he's got mind control over them. But in this particular case, and like I said, there are 3 women that used to be in his inner circle. Their names are Cheryl Mack, Kitty Jones, and Asante McGee. They gave details to BuzzFeed supporting the parents' worst fears. They said that 6 women live in his properties rented in Chicago and Atlanta suburbs, and he controls every aspect of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, what they bathe, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in sexual encounters that he actually records. He's making porn videos that he shows to his friends, which I thought was mighty freaky. And I started thinking, I bet he pimping them out too. I bet you he pimping them out. All right. So they've been brainwashed, but not in a traditional sense. Like pimps have they prostitutes and hoes. And these women could leave if they want to, but a lot of them won't leave because they dependent on the pimps, and they think the pimps protect them, and the pimps have talked to them so crazy and have them thinking that they need them. Well, this is the same situation. I do believe those girls, before this young lady, her name is Joycelyn Savage, the daughter of Tim and Jocelyn Savage, came out, and before she ever came out and even did a video the next day, I felt like these women were there ultimately because they wanted to be. And I felt like there was more to the story. And I'm not going to get off into all these details because there's been so many things that has come out since Monday. Okay? I'm just going to try to get to the bottom line because that's what I do. You got all these people, like I said, you got the first group of people that are accusing him of having a cult and holding this girl hostage. And holding all of these women hostage. And then the girl comes out and does a video where it appears that she's been coached, and she's telling them that she's fine. She's telling her daddy and mom, I'm good. Y'all leave me alone. I'm fine. They say that they had talked to her a couple of times. They've texted with her a few times over the past couple of months or whatever. The last time they saw her was in December. But she told them that she's fine. She's where she wants to be. Leave her alone. She ain't coming home until she get ready, basically. And I feel like if your child tells you that, this grown woman going on 22 years old, leave her alone. I understand how they feel. They miss their daughter. I get it. But you know she's alive. Stop trying to send the police over there. Police done told you that they can't do nothing about it because it's not illegal. Until you can prove that there's some abuse and whatnot going on, you need to stop. But once again, like I said, I started to think or believe that there was more to this story with these parents. So The girl has made 2 videos, actually. She's even accused or even said that her daddy, allegedly her father, she let everybody know that he was the one that took her to RKelly. So when I began to read all this stuff and put 2 and 2 together, this girl saying she's not being held hostage. People think that she's being coached. I began to put 2 and 2 together, and I said, and the fact that her daddy set up a meeting with the singer, I said, you know what? I said, I believe her parents thought or were hoping that they were going to get something out of the deal. We all know that it is no secret that there are some parents that want fame and fortune so bad, and they'll use their children to get it. You better ask some of these Disney stars, some of these old Disney stars about it. You better ask people like Macaulay Culkin, who's old now, and some of these other people. You better ask them. They'll tell you how their parents want money so bad that they're willing to do anything. They'll just about sell their children to the industry for money. So it didn't surprise me, or it doesn't surprise me, and it wouldn't surprise me if this young lady's mother and father are the same kind of hustlers. They look like hustlers. She has a little sister who has done a very raunchy rap video. When I say raunchy, she's cussing him out, saying all kind of stuff that to me an 18-year-old should not say. Then the daddy them made a video about RKelly, and I'm thinking, what are they doing? But see, now is their time to shine. They done came out with this mess, and so now they're trying to benefit off of it, okay? And my conclusion with everything that has happened, before I get to the last receipts that I got, is that they thought that they were going to profit off of RKelly and their daughter. And what didn't happen is he cut them out. They didn't get anything. And so now they mad. So now they trying to mess him up. Okay, now that was my belief Thursday. Well, on yesterday, I think it was Thursday. Well, on Thursday, there was another article that came out, because I had already come to my conclusion. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, for a living, I am an accountant. So the way I think, I get to the bottom line with everything real quick. You can give me all the details, and I have pretty much come to a bottom line conclusion. So I've already talked more about this than I normally would have. But the bottom line is that, yes, RKelly is freaky, but I did not believe that he was holding anybody hostage. No, I didn't. I didn't think he was doing anything illegal. RKelly is not, I'm not a fan of his anymore like I used to be because of that, because he's so freaky and nasty. But we cannot deny that he's talented and makes great music. But I did believe that there was more to the story. And I believe the parents are hustlers. They're a little ghetto. The daughter's ghetto. And they have raised them like that. And now these folks is mad. But anyway, let me read y'all an article that came out on TMZ the day before yesterday. Well, no, it was actually Wednesday that it came out. It says that these women, this is an exclusive now, these women aren't captive. He just hooks them on the high life. RKelly is guilty of pampering women with so much luxury that they become dependent on him and don't want to leave, even though they can. According to family members of one of the women, our sources related to the woman, who was 20 when she moved in with Kelly last year, say that she met him backstage during a concert meet and greet. She communicated with the singer for about 6 months before he asked her to live with him. She agreed. So as y'all see, these women go to him and he winds up enticing them and luring them into staying with him, okay? It says, however, we're told that the woman, who is not an aspiring singer like Joycelyn Savage, she has been free to leave Kelly's past in Illinois and Georgia and has done so on multiple occasions. We're told that she's flown out of state unaccompanied to visit family. She's never stayed longer than a week and always returned to Kelly, who she describes as her man. So why does she stay? Our sources say that the woman has been flown to Beverly Hills for shopping sprees, and Kelly also buys high-priced handbags, lingerie, shoes, and spa trips for all of the girlfriends. We're told Kelly openly says he wants to shower them in luxury, and he did say that. I have heard him say that in interviews, that he likes to shower his girls with luxury. He does. He's like the black Hugh Hefner. He's not the black Jim Jones, y'all. He's the black Hugh Hefner. He ain't nothing but a pimp. That's really what he is. So anyway, he says, now, this is not to say that RKelly is innocent. One family member believes Kelly has a calculating, methodical process to groom naive girls, and confirmed that he takes their smartphones from her. Now, I don't know why he does that, but, well, we know why he does it. And he actually gives them his own phone. The woman that talked to TMZ, she never mentioned any physical abuse, nor has her family seen any evidence of it. While they don't see anything criminal about Kelly's tactics, they feel that he uses psychological abuse to make the girls fully reliant on them. Of course he does. Like I said, that's what pimps do. They psychologically manipulate these women and get them to stay with them, okay? So this right here pretty much confirms everything that I thought and said about R. Kelly from the beginning. He's not forcing them girls to stay there. He's just got them manipulated and make these weak. That's why he chooses, one reason why he chooses these really young girls, because he knows he can control them. And so many women love R. Kelly. Ooh, Lord. And I feel like this. What kind of parents, knowing R. Kelly's history, would introduce their daughter to him? The parents are liars to me. And I think they're out for money. That's just my interpretation. I'm sorry, y'all. All parents ain't good parents. Some of them are greedy and they hustle too. And I believe that's what they were doing with their daughter in this particular case. So that right there proved it. I also heard on another YouTuber's video that she played a recording of the family. I'm thinking it's this Jocelyn's girl's parents talking to her and her sister, and they were asking her all kind of questions. And from the conversation, I don't remember it in detail, she was admitting, she was saying that she had been messing with R. Kelly and that he had her messing with other women, which we know that that's what they do. They do that at the Playboy Mansion every day. And the parents were like, oh, they got you sleeping with women, like as if that wasn't part of the deal. And basically what you get out of the conversation is that they knew about it. They okayed it to some extent because they thought that they were going to get paid too. And when they didn't get paid, they got mad. And so now they're making him look bad. They trying to do everything they can to try to ruin him for what he's done. This ain't nothing but a Bill Cosby #2. That's all this is. Even though I do believe Bill Cosby with the drugs, of course that's illegal. So anyway, I'm going to stop this video right here. This is going to be part 1 because it's 42 minutes long. And for some reason, it takes a long time to upload these videos to YouTube. I'm going to do a part 2. Okay? So I'll see y'all in a minute. Bye-bye.